1, 2. It's so hard to say it, but darling, let's face it, these feelings revealing cannot be ignored.
Heads! Now, let me make this perfectly clear. This is actually my second time recording this video. The original version had some inaccuracies, which, let's be real, my Facebook friends love those. But I felt like I needed to be a bit clearer, more constructive, instead of just memes. And since Ground Zero Studio is going through some slight changes, thank you Aunt Joni for helping me with that, I figured now would be a good time to start from scratch again. Anyways, with that said, I would shove this thing so far, man. They're nice, stupid idiot, but I have the answer to that. Abyss is a comical virtual idol group that's primarily inspired by J-pop and J-rock groups, like Nickelback. They primarily focus on gaming and all of the things made in the social patriarchy that I desperately want to bring back. Basically, their primary focus is video games. Now, who makes up Abyss? Well, good question, and I'll explain that to you after I tell you about our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. You can pick them apart by how they look, how they act, and which consoles they primarily play on. First is Aqua Harada, leader of Abyss. Her favorite kind of games are gacha games. You know, the ones that I use for my thumbnails. She's generally a lazy leader because her squad fam makes all the important decisions for her. Which is exactly how I treat my staff, or so I've been told. Next up is member number 2, Yuna Fukunaga. She's more into horror games and doesn't necessarily get scared by them. But what she is scared of is people. Yeah, people. Hashtag relatable. Aqua actually persuaded her to join Abyss in order to overcome her fears because she's the type of person who believes that exposure therapy actually works. But after a while, she did get comfortable with the group, so I guess I'm wrong. This is what happens when I say I'm wrong! After that, we have Aisea Higuchi, which is member number 3. Her favorite kind of video games are visual novels, which I played on twitch.tv/ZGoingMusic to a crowd of absolutely nobody. I fucking hate my job. I would let her explain more of it, but she tends to get a bit rambly.
Once you start playing, it gets really hard to stop. The beautiful illustrations and the breathtaking story, nice characters. You just get
Yeah, I know, you like to fuck books. Can we move on, please? Oh yeah, you might have noticed subunits in their descriptions along with star signs that I don't give a shit about. Let me explain what those are real quick. There are mainly 2 subunits in Abyss: Ribbon Dancing and the Edge. The Edge is made up of Aqua, Yuna, and Noriko, whilst Ribbon Dancing is made up of Aisea, Fuka, and Ray. The Edge is mainly more edgy.
Wow, great observation, Captain Obvious!
Steve, I swear to God, we've been over this multiple times. Shut the fuck up, dude! But for real, The Edge has a much more darker tone with its tracks, such as the likes of Pretty Liar, Trancing Pulse, Frost, and Smash Mouth.
Body once told me the world is gonna roll me.
Meanwhile, Ribbon Dancing is the opposite of that. It's made up of dancing ribbons summoned by black magic. Jokes aside, Ribbon Dancing is made up of much more lighter tracks, like Kawaii Make My Day, Furachina Canvas, and Smash Mouth.
Well, the years are coming and they don't stop running, fed to the rules and
Alright, now that you know the differences between the different subunits, let's move over to member number 4, Noriko. Her favorite kind of games are first-person shooters. You know, the ones with lobbies full of small children screaming slurs like college students throwing around STDs. Yeah, those kinds. But the screaming children don't really seem to bother her that much, mainly because she tends to avoid them at all costs. How she does it, I have no idea, and I must applaud her for making such an effort to avoid raid. After her assembly, we have member number 5, Fuka Tori. She's a bit of a mysterious pearl, in that we tried to ask her what her favorite game is, and she would not tell us. Fuka, You do realize that this allows a lot of interpretation to guesswork to open up, right?
Yeah, so I hadn't found anything about Fuka's favorite video game genre. So I'll go up on a limb and say that her favorite game is one where you commit eco-terrorism. This is what satanic communists want for our country.
Okay, shut the fuck up, Happy Meal Alex Jones. And finally, we have Rei Teshima. Notice how I didn't say Ophelia, because unlike the expired version of me, I'm not afraid to dead name someone. Rei's favorite game genre is rhythm games, and she's really full of herself. She actually joined Abyss to compete with Fuka on how cute she is, which is borderline impossible given how my eardrums have shattered trying to get information out of her. Oh, and did I mention she lies about her age too?
FBI, open up!
She lies to pass off as a teenager. She's actually 24.
Out of my argument!
Weirdos. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, they're all over 18, so let your imaginations run wild.
Anthony Cohen, I can't believe you. Aren't you concerned you're watching Satanism right now? I know what you need. I know what you need. You need Christ to save you. Oh no, no, see me.
And aren't you concerned that Donald Trump has you locked in some sort of Mooney cult?
Oh, excuse me.
For one, cartoon characters do not have the same human rights that we get because they don't exist. It's a piece of paper. It's a drawing. Second, I don't really give a shit what you watch. Just don't try and force it down my throat, okay? Plus, I'm pretty sure that none of them care either. In fact, if anything, they probably encourage it. So, write as many fanfics and doujins as you want, boys. Okay, so now you know all the members. Cool. But what are we gonna do with them? It's rather easy to find out. You can take all these members and shove them up and stream our single Rainy Season down in the link in the description. As for any future singles, we just come up with shit on the spot. So it's not like there's a lot of planning that goes on in the background. Most of the tracks are made with either us screaming into a microphone, waving a stick around, or both. If you'd like to support us in other ways, then perfectly fine. We have plenty of ways for you to become an official Abyss
Simp.
First, you can share the singles that we make on social media for absolutely free. No charge. You can do it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MySpace. Or if you want to be a tier 3 simp, then look no further than our Patreon page. Who can be the biggest simp for Abyss? I have no idea, but I'm excited to find out. Also, if you want to follow the VAs of the idols, then do so through all the links that I put in the description.
But Zane, which is best waifu?
We are not doing this again. Last time I tried to make a music video sketch, it didn't quite work because I was too lazy, so get out of my sight. I'm personally split between Noriko and Fuka, and now that I said that, let the flame war begin. Or don't. You know, that would be preferable. Instead, you can vote for Best Waifu using the poll that I created in the link in the description. So just so you're aware, there are no consequences for voting for Best Waifu using my poll, so it's like you're living in an American democracy. Anyways, that's all I wanted to bring up. Make sure you check out Rainy Season when it comes out in the link in the description, and I'll see you all next time. Take care, everybody.
Can't we